To be a good leader, they say you have to be a good communicator. Guess who is the right person to speak about communication? 2025 Toastmasters World Champion of Public Speaking, Toastmaster SABYASACHI Sengupta. Toastmaster SABYASACHI, welcome to Bahrain.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Let me ask you this question first. What changed in your life after you have been announced as the World Champion of Public Speaking?
I think a lot. I think I can say my life changed pretty dramatically, drastically. But it's been, of course, overwhelming because now I feel I have the responsibility to take public speaking as a skill forward. I represent a community and I represent a skill as well. So not only help people in the community who love public speaking and want also have a mission to be on that stage, but also people who are scared of this skill will never come to Toastmasters and also or just sometimes even belittle, public speaking, that's not that important, but to tell them how important, how relevant the skill is and how the skill can take us forward in our life. So that's definitely something I want to do, and that I feel the added responsibility since the World Championship.
That's very noble of you. But let me ask the question, which leader, if you have to say, impacted you with their communication and kind of inspiration for you to proceed in communication line?
Leaders as in like world leaders or leaders from Toastmasters?
Even from your life?
So, I will tell you, when I started Toastmasters at the very start of my Toastmasters journey in the Netherlands, in Utrecht. So there's one person who really impacted me. His name is Peter Zinn. So he's a cyber security police. And when you think of a police, you think of a very strict, frowning man and has a serious job. At the same time, he was this comedian who would make us laugh. He had jokes. He even cycled once on stage. He will do creative, wacky things. And he has really had the biggest impact in that initial years as a role model, someone I saw who does the basics before getting on stage. Like if he's a moderator, he gets the name right, he gets the details right, he gets the agenda right, and on stage he is fun. He doesn't forget to do the basics and he doesn't forget to make it special. And that's something I've always tried, to do the basic correct and also then add that little razzle dazzle. So Peter Zinn would be that name.
Peter Zinn, big shout out for you. You gave us a world champion.
He knows it. I love him.
Now, if I have to ask you, if you have to go back to your childhood and pick up a moment which left a big impact in you and that kind of helped you in your speaking career also, if you...
It's a funny story. So I was like 16, if that's still considered childhood.
Kind of, yes.
I was studying commerce and one of our teacher, we were learning business studies, came up with that idea that, now you're going to be leaders and you're studying commerce. Instead of just learning the debits and credits, we will also have speeches. So we will give business topics, go home, prepare, come and present it to us. And the topic was about Indian economy. This is 2003 we are talking about. Of course, I was super excited about it. I prepared. I started reading Economic Times. In India, it's like the business news. So I started reading, did a lot of research over the week, and then I came in front of the class to speak. Now, there was a room full of like 40, 50 people. Now, a little bit about my childhood. I was not a confident kid. I was not the popular kid. I didn't have a lot of friends. I was quite bullied. So for me to go up in front of everyone in the front row, stand and look at them in the eye and talk, they are already laughing. They're all like, who is this guy? Just get up like this. They're just, they're not being supportive. And then my teacher says, you start speaking. And I started speaking at 5 minutes. In few seconds, the room was quiet. In few seconds, that you have their attention. In few seconds, they're listening to you. That moment when you can conquer your bullies with words. Those bullies that would potentially beat me up, make fun of me, were suddenly like paying attention. And when I finished, I didn't have to force a clap out of them. They naturally started applauding. That was really fun. That was like, for me, I felt like I had a victory. And called me sadistic, but the guy next to me who spoke after me was a popular kid, but had no conviction in his speech, didn't have the energy, didn't have the that command over the craft, and people were like wooing him off. People were not listening, paying me attention. He was very, very demoralized. But for me, that day was a victory. That hey, I don't need muscles. I don't need popularity. I don't need, or weapons. I have words.
Wow. So for those who are actually bullied, find your strength in words.
100%.
That's the message I get from you.
100%.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Now, I want to ask you this question. Now, you also worked in a multinational company, and how is your communication skills that you learned helped you as a leader in your organization?
I'll talk about my first job. It was in India, in the back office of Lehman Brothers, the American investment bank. Now, we were a payment team, and we would get calls from all over the world. You come to the office around 10, 11, there's Asia calling, there's Singapore, Japan, Hong Kong, they're calling. Very different style of communicating, very polite, very soft spoken. They want to really listen. That doesn't mean you have their agreement. And then the UK, Europe, very different style of communicating. The US, aggressive, the Goldman Sachs, they come with all the aggression, but they sometimes mean well if you have to look beyond it. So for me, that first 1 year working at Lehman Brothers was such a, I only knew how to communicate with people who look like me, who sound like me, who behave like me. But that was for me learning to communicate with people with variety of style. People who talk softly, where I have to listen more carefully. People who are really loud. People who just like, hey mate, how are you? And you just like not getting the accent. So it was, I think my first job was a really important part of my speaking journey, because it taught me how to communicate with people with different styles, different techniques, and what they appreciate and understand.
Wow. From what you said, I just want to ask one question.
Yeah.
You talked about aggressive people.
Yeah.
So you may also have when you go public, when you become a figure of people look up. Sometimes you may have some aggressive comments from people. Some people may give you a very aggressive feedback.
Yeah.
How do you handle that actually?
I think so. In person, I haven't received any, but I have, of course, online trolling. It of course affects. It hurts. But I'm trying not to engage. Like my semi-final speech that I won with was a speech where a donkey was screaming that the grass is blue, and a tiger who was walking got dragged into that conversation and argued with the donkey for hours, and like saying the tiger says the grass is green, the donkey says grass is blue. And when they couldn't decide, they went to the lion. The lion heard both sides of the story and said, the donkey is right, the grass is blue. The donkey walked away. The tiger stood confused. And the lion said, you're not wrong, dear tiger, but you're a tiger. And you wasted hours of your life debating with the donkey. I tell myself that story, that if I want to be a tiger, if I want to be proud of my craft and my skill, if I can be a good inspiration, help someone, I need to look beyond those donkeys that are trying to bully and rattle me. So ignore that. There's enough love in this world. Focus on that.
Wow.
It's hard. I won't lie about that.
But that's a good message actually. And especially in the current situation where people are spewing, I mean, it's all, hate is across everywhere. Every opportunity they try to find hate, but finding love amidst that hate is something that's a very important thing.
100%.
And that's a good message, I'd say. Now, if you have to pick up one anecdote from your life as an example, and that you want to give it to the people who want to be leaders, who want to be communicators, what would that be?
One anecdote from my life. I had quite some. It's probably not in public speaking domain, but that's one anecdote or quote that I have followed as one truth of my life, and it's written all over my apartment. A goal is a dream with a deadline. We make so many plans. We want to write the best piece. We want to write a book. We want to make videos. But if you don't have the rubber hit the road, those ideas will never see the light of the day. So goal is a dream with a deadline. If you have a dream, put a deadline. That's only when it becomes goal and becomes a reality. That was how I got my first book written. I started my own podcast. I write my speeches. Because without deadline, you think we have all the time to create something, but in reality, we don't.
Absolutely. I think it's a big message for me who have been thinking of writing a book for quite some time and it's been there.
Yeah.
So probably I'm going to put a deadline on that and try to finish the book by, say, March 2026.
Godspeed. I will be checking on you for that. I will remember this.
Thank you very much, Sabi,
Thank
for that
you.
wonderful conversation and giving us very, very important, vital points for communication leadership. And it's a pleasure talking to you.
It's been my pleasure as well. Thank you for having me in Bahrain. I'm loving it. Thank you.